Today, on Be Something Wonderful, manifest your dream life by turning reality upside down. This is amazing. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. We have a big video for you this morning. It comes from a discussion that I had with one of you that is now sharing your story of how you turned your life around. But it's bigger than that. He didn't just turn his life around, he turned reality upside down. In other words, when we first talked, he was talking about how he's in a vicious cycle. He was a big consumer of content, of reality creation content, of the reality creation and law of assumption teachings on YouTube and books, including our channel, for many months. But he said nothing was changing. And he goes, no matter what I did, I couldn't break the cycle. We're going to talk about this idea of a vicious cycle. But when we had talked, I said, look, you're creating that cycle from this idea of bottom-up creation, looking at the circumstances, feeling something about them, taking action on it, trying to feel better, trying to change it from inside that solid frame of reality, right? Versus the top down, versus we have it. The big discussion was, and it was like on an early video, maybe about a year ago or two now, maybe in several videos I've talked about this idea, that when we believe this, when we believe it's a vicious cycle, we have it backwards and upside down. We're trying to create our desired life. We're trying to move into that desired identity from the bottom up, where change can't be made, right? You can move things around, right? As we talked about, you can move furniture around in the room. You can even buy new furniture, but it doesn't change the room. It doesn't change the dwelling place. It doesn't change the house or the mansion, as Scripture refers to. So we talked about this idea, and I want to share this with you. Because now he's moving into a new house that has a big home office that he had a dream of having so he can work at home with his girlfriend who's now pregnant. They don't have any plans to get married yet, but this was back 9 months ago. It was off and on. Nothing was working for him. Life wasn't working, right? It just felt like a vicious cycle. Well, we're going to talk about this idea today and more, how he turned reality upside down, which turned his dream right side up, right? So how do I break the vicious cycle or circle, right? And that's what it feels like. Boy, this was such a powerful discussion we had that I created these diagrams to present this to you, to talk about this. I might have presented something like this before, I'm not sure. But we have the manifested circumstances or the manifested experience. Then we feel something about it. And then we take actions to feel better, to do something about it, in hopes that those circumstances change. Do you see it? By asking how do I change my life, right? How do I get there? What do I do? But remember, it's not about changing any of those. Those circumstances are always changing. Those thoughts and feelings are always changing. It's not about taking action on those, right? Do whatever you got to do. But that has nothing to do with changing those circumstances. We're talking about the doing or taking the action from fulfillment, from the top down, from that identity that you're already that person you desire to be. Because when you ask how, it creates all the other questions of when. When will it happen? Where is it? Where's my new life? Where's my dream? What happened? What happened to my dream, right? And why hasn't it manifested? Right, I think one of you were asking that when we talked about the idea of not asking how, when, where, what, or why. You said that's in contradictions to the idea of ask-formations. No, it has nothing to do with that. Ask-formations are different. When ask-formations are a declaration, an announcement of your reality. Why am I so rich? Why is everything going so well for me? Why am I living such a great life? Totally different. This means you didn't really watch the video or understand what we were talking about there. Rewatch it and you will get what we mean. This is a cycle of non-fulfillment. That does feel like a vicious circle or cycle, right? Asking that question how and these other questions that that sprout from that question of how. Then when is it going to happen? Where is it? What do I have to do? Why am I seeing this? Why hasn't it happened, right? Versus, and this, remember, this is bottom up reality creation. Trying to create from the conditions, trying to feel better about them, taking actions to resolve your thoughts and feelings about them, hoping that those change the circumstances, right? Instead, you want to be here, right? And the upper chamber, as Scripture talked about it, the upper chamber of your imagination, of your identity, of your power as all that is, identifying as already being that person you desire to be. The question is who? The only question that you ever have to ask. That's why Jesus asked that as the eternal question. Who do you say that I am? Right? That, all that isness, from that I am awareness, from that ultimate identity as God's Son, as all that is, as all realities, all possibilities, that infinite being. You identify with what you want. Who do you want to be? What do you want to experience as that all that isness? What are your assumptions around yourself, the world, and that identity? And then you're in this circle of life now. Instead of the vicious circle or cycle, you're in the circle of life from that I amness, right? To turn your life around, you turn everything upside down. You choose versus trying to change. You choose from the top down. We have it backwards, right? We believe you're supposed to start from the bottom up, right? Start from the top down, right? This is powerful. Let's show this today. The reason Bashar and other spiritual greats always say that circumstances don't matter, only stating beings matter. No matter what I do, nothing changes. I can't seem to break the cycle. That's why, because they don't matter, because they're always changing, because that's bottom up, because every time you look, reality's changing. Every time you try to change those circumstances, they're changing. It's about top-down creation. That's why they always say that. It's your state of being. It's your identity. It's your identity as I am awareness. It's the who, not the how. Not the when, not the where, not the what, not the why, but the who. Who are you? That invokes the circle of life versus being trapped in the circle or the vicious cycle of non-fulfillment, right? This is a circle of absolute fulfillment. It's a cycle of absolute fulfillment in every moment, right? So this was some of the things that he remembers, right? He consumed so much content and wondered why after watching so many videos. Right? After applying so many processes, after reading so many books, that he couldn't break the pattern or what he believed was a cycle of non-fulfillment. Right? No matter what I do, nothing changes. I can't seem to break the cycle or the circle of non-fulfillment. Right? No matter how much I move around the furniture, buy new furniture, change the furniture, the room, the house, the mansion, the dwelling place doesn't change. So it's the same. You want to move, you got to move from the identity, move from that idea, that declaration of who you are. That's what changes it. No matter how much I change the way I think and feel about it, it doesn't change. Nothing changes. Even remember, you're just moving around you're moving around the furniture, even when you buy new furniture. Even when you try to think and feel better about the old furniture or the new furniture. Nothing changes because you're still dwelling in the same identity, the same place. That's why it feels like that, right? When Scripture talks about my Father's house has many mansions or dwelling places. There are infinite identities, infinite possibilities, infinite realities that you can occupy. But you keep trying from the bottom up, focused on the furniture, moving that around. Maybe I need new furniture. But yet the house doesn't change, the room doesn't change, nothing changes. It feels like a cycle or a vicious circle of non-fulfillment. That's what happens, right? So stop trying to think and feel better about a version of you in reality that's no longer or never was consciously your preferred dwelling place or identity. It doesn't matter how much you change the furniture, how much you change your thoughts and those changing thoughts and feelings, how much you try to influence the circumstances. Nothing's going to change. Right? You're not going to, it doesn't matter how much you try to resolve those thoughts and feelings. Stop taking action to fix or alter a script or reality or version of you that can't be changed. And you're not even there to change that version of you. You're an infinite being. All versions exist. We're not here to fix any 3D focused version of us. We're here to call forth or invoke the preferred version that we want, how we want to now see reality. You're not here to fix or alter any one perception. You're here to call forth a new perception, a new vantage point, a new viewpoint of all that is. Right? This is all done from lack and non-fulfillment, trying to resolve those thoughts and feelings so we feel better about a reality that we don't prefer. And it takes your focus off of your desired reality, off of your dream. Or at least I don't feel so bad now about not having my dream life. Right? That's what we do. We try to feel better about not being the person we want to be or not having the things that we want to have. And if we feel better, then we're okay. Then maybe there's still hope that I can move there. But do you see, you keep creating that cycle. Stop taking action to try to change circumstances and emotions that are always changing. Those changing thoughts and feelings, those that we call emotions. Remember, I'm not talking about the one emotion of source energy, the absolute conviction of being, of I am. I'm talking about those changing thoughts and feelings, about those changing circumstances. Those are always changing because we're always asking how. What do I need to do? Where is it? Why hasn't it manifested? When will it manifest? Instead of who. Who do I say I am? I am that I am. This is the question, right? So let's continue. Instead, as it says in Scripture, prepare your place in the upper chamber. We're going to show this today. Jesus, your I am awareness of being, said this, in my Father's house, right, in this all that isness, in this one unity, this one awareness, this one reality, all that is, are many mansions, infinite ideas of who I am, infinite possibilities or realities or images or possibilities or scripts or lifelines or realities, whatever you want to call it. Alternative parallel identities of you, alternative parallel identities of me, alternative parallel experiences of reality, right? Are many mansions, many dwelling places, many rooms, right? But you're trying to change the furniture in one particular mansion or one particular room, and nothing changes, right? If it were not so, I would have told you. I would have told you. Your I am awareness tells you that it is so. When you say I am, it's telling you it's so, that you exist as all possibilities. That's what I am means. Your own I am awareness is telling you the truth. If not, I would have told you. Right? I am not is not a possibility. Is not reality. Non-existence doesn't exist. You exist as all of it. And I go to prepare a place for you. Prepare that new place. Right? Go up in your imagination with your assumptions, with your idea of who you are. All it is, all possibilities, all versions, all identities, all mansions or rooms or dwelling places, in that one unified source or awareness of all possibilities, what Scripture calls the Father. Right? That one reality, that one unity exists all. Right? Your I am tells you that it's so. If it were not so, I would have told you. Right? But here's the thing, you are the operant power as the Son of Man, the I am awareness, the Son of God in physical expression. That's why Jesus says, in my Father's house are many mansions, in that one source, that one unity, the Father that is greater than I am, are many mansions. Me as that I am awareness, as the Son of God, as the Son of Man and the Son of God. The Son of God with that physical focused personality as the Son of Man. Right? The Son of God in expression. I have these infinite possibilities or ways to express myself. And this is, remember, I've presented this in a few videos now. And we even have a playlist on levels of creation. But I think it really fits here, specifically with this client that turns reality upside down. His dream right side up and reality upside down. In other words, he was no longer trying to create from that vicious cycle or circle of the bottom up, asking how and where and what and why. Instead, he moved to the upper chamber, to the circle of life, not trying to change anything anymore, but choosing, right? Choosing. So remember, level 7 is God, the Father, or source, life itself, existence, right? You might call that the all, that contains all other levels. It's the great isness of reality, what Scripture, what many refer to as the great I am. Then you have levels 6, 5, and 4. That's the circle of life. Not the vicious circle, but the circle of life. All that is, the Son of God, your I am awareness, your higher self, the real you, your higher mind, your oneness in that, your center, you as the center of that one divine mind, or that one life, or that one reality. Then you have your identity, level 5, your I am identity as the Son of Man. One with your divine nature as the Son of God. But your physical experience, right? Your 3D linear experience as the Son of Man. And then you have your assumptions or your truth about who you are in your reality. That is the cycle of life, right? Wow, right? That creates your experience of that one life, that one awareness, right? That's powerful. That's why it says, I prepare a place for you in John 14:2, or in 2 Kings 3:16, the story about the 3 kings dying of thirst in the desert with no water, right, with their armies, calling out to God, and Elijah answers, representing your I am awareness. And the message from God, or your I am awareness, was dig the ditch. Prepare the place. Dig the ditch and the water will be there, that your thirst will be cleansed. The rain will be there, right? Your desires will be there, but dig the ditch. Remember, the 3 kings with all their armies are dying of thirst, right? They're weak. They're frustrated. They feel like the circumstances are killing them, right? The heat in the desert. And then what's the message from God or Elijah, your I am awareness? Dig the ditch. Take a shovel and dig a ditch. And the water will be there. You won't see rain. You won't see storms or clouds, but the rain will be there. In other words, the source will be there. Meaning it's yours no matter what. But you got to prepare your place. You got to dig the ditch. In other words, as Neville Goddard says, you're the operant power. It's yours anyway. Whether you prepare the place or dig the ditch, God gave you everything. God made you everything. But for you to experience it, you want to create from the top down, from the circle of life, not from the vicious cycle of non-fulfillment, right? Work from the upper chamber. Imagine, assume, and affirm from there. This is what he was now doing. He was imagining things before, trying to get into a state akin to sleep, would have some movement here and there. Right? Imagine, assume, and affirm. He would imagine flowers and roses and other things and see them. He climbed the ladder, all of that. But he was still doing it from the lower chamber, right? From the vicious cycle of how is this going to happen? What do I got to do? Now he's imagining, affirming, and assuming his reality, declaring it from the upper chamber, from that knowing of who he is. Right? This right here, levels 3, 2, and 1, that's the vicious cycle or circle, right? The changing thoughts and feelings, taking actions, trying to do things to feel better about it, trying to change these manifested conditions where change cannot be made. That's why all the spiritual greats said the script is written. All possibilities already exist. It's not about changing any part of God or infinity or those scripts. It's about calling forth your experience. Right, from the upper chamber. Levels 4, 5, and 6, that's the circle of life. Levels 3, 2, and 1, that's the vicious circle or cycle of non-fulfillment. Right, when you're working there from the bottom up. We have it then you have it upside down. So turn it upside down, right? Understand that you're going to be working as source, through source, as source, right? That power is flowing through you. This is powerful. Remember, life, existence, God, that's level 7. That is no matter what. And you are that all that isness no matter what. You are one with the Father. So the circle of life, the circle of your dream life begins there. He just had it upside down, right? Working from the bottom up, right? This is powerful. So how creates the vicious cycle of when, where, why, in the doing, in the taking action from non-fulfillment? Who invokes the cycle of life? All processes, all techniques, all actions now become enchanted, inspired, right? Otherwise we have it backwards, right? Whenever we're trying to create from the bottom up, we have it upside down and backwards. Go here, right? Turn your life right side up by going here, and then your dream will be there. This is powerful today. He said, you're right, I had it upside down and backwards, because I've talked about that in a few videos. So remember, it's not about just consuming content and saying, yeah, I watched 1,000 videos, but nothing changed. Yeah, I read all Neville Goddard's books, but nothing's changing. Yeah, I've tried it all. I've tried assuming and imagining, but nothing's changing. Because you're believing in that, you're creating that idea of this vicious cycle or pattern from trying to change things from the bottom up. Imagining, but from these circumstances, from these conditions, from your changing thoughts and feelings about them, right? Create from the cycle of life, right? Manifest your dream life by turning reality upside down. This is amazing. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on our videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, The Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/BeSomethingWonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/BeSomethingWonderful, and for being part of our membership channel. Remember, at the end of this month, we have a big live stream on the membership channel. So be sure to join us if you're a member. Send your questions to info@BeSomethingWonderful.com. I'll also answer questions live during the event on the chat. That's where we'll start. So it's at the end of this month. It's exclusively on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. If you're a member, tune in. If you're not, you can check out the link below. Creators with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude. This is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.